1 year ago, this man made history on the lanes. Jason Belmonte became the only player ever to win 11 major titles, and he did it at the 2019 PBA World Championship. Fast forward to today, and Belmo is back at the World Championship, where he has a chance at another major, as well as $1 million. The PBA World Championship, live from Las Vegas, is next on FS1. From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is the South Point Bowling Plaza, and it's a city that's hosted the PBA Tour so many times, going back to 1960. Today, we bring you the 2020 PBA World Championship, the fourth of 5 majors this year. What a field of bowlers we have for you today. 5 of the world's best will compete for big prize money, a place in PBA history as a major champion. And also, if a bowler rolls a 300 in the championship match, $1 million bonus for the PBA and from Fox. Step ladder bowling. We start with our first match, the 5th seed, Chris Five, Springfield, Ohio, hoping for his first career title against 4-seeded 2-time U.S. Open champion Francois Lavoie of Canada. The winner takes on a young star, Anthony Simonson, at 23 years old, trying for his 3rd career major. The winner of that takes on another 2-time major champ, E.J. Tackett, hoping for career title number 14. And look who's the top seed, 5-time player of the year, this year's U.S. Open champion, Jason Belmonte from Australia, trying to extend his record and win his 13th career major. Hello, bowling fans, and welcome in these very trying and unusual times to Las Vegas. Great to have you with us. Dave Ryan alongside Randy Peterson and fellow Hall of Famer Norm Duke, joined throughout our broadcast by Kimberly Pressler as well. These certainly are very different times in the sporting world. Probably one of the only live sporting events you'll see today anywhere in the United States. The World Series of Bowling, well, it has been abbreviated, postponed. Be sure to log on to PBA.com to find out the very latest when these events will be rescheduled. So, guys, we have one show today. It's a big one. When you take in the big picture, Randy, of what's happening in our country with sports, worldwide with sports, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. Obviously, it's crazy. But the PBA has done everything in their power. They've taken all the precautions. They've condensed this down to just one major, arguably our biggest event of the season, and it's been whittled down. And it's affected so many around the world, and we're not immune to that.
Yeah, and as players, we've had a difficult time staying current with it because we've been on the floor all day long, and so we finished bowling for the day, and we check our messages, and these tournaments have been postponed. Some have been canceled indefinitely, so it's very difficult for the players to keep up with, and trying times all over the world right now.
Kimberly, now joined by the CEO of the PBA, Coley Edison.
Thanks, guys. So, Coley, it was a difficult decision for you guys to move forward with this tournament. Why don't you talk to us about that process?
Yeah, so, Kimberly, right now, the #1 priority for the PBA is the health and safety of our athletes and our staff. It was a difficult decision to postpone the rest of the World Series, but there's a lot of players involved. So we needed to create the safest, most healthy environment possible, and that's where we are today. We have 5 bowlers, a very small production crew. The audience is limited to just close family members and officials. And we have 5 bowlers who want to be out there bowling today, and we are so appreciative of them. And to show our support, we've actually put an additional $100,000 into the prize fund. So you're going to see the top 5 bowlers in the world competing for over $300,000 today. We truly support them, and we're so thankful for all that they're doing for us. These are really unprecedented times. Everything is uncharted territory, so we are happy that we can deliver the live sport of bowling to our audiences at home, and we thank you guys for continuing to support the PBA.
Well, that's something. So even more money's on the line today with the $1 million potentially, guys. Yeah. The championship match with a 300.
Everybody likes money, including me.
Let's get to the bowling, guys, and talk about Jason Belmonte. He is the #1 seed, trying for another PBA World Championship. Last year set the all-time record for career majors at this event in Allen Park, Michigan, suburban Detroit. We spoke with Belmo last night. He's confident. His family is here. It's a big moment again for the two-hander from down under.
Yeah, I mean, this guy just makes history every time he steps on the lanes in a major championship. But, Norm, you competed this week, and you got to see a lot of what Belmonte did firsthand. What impressed you the most throughout the World Series of Bowling with Belmonte?
Well, more like the last 7 or 8 years where he's won 12 majors, Randy. And on the floor with him, he can do everything. There's no weaknesses in his bag. He gets so much respect for his power game. I'm a great spare shooter. This guy can make spares like no tomorrow. He picks up splits. There's no weakness.
How about last week when he had to make the 3, 6, 9, 10, and we talked to him in our interviews, and we asked him, we said, Jason, what went through your mind when you had to make the 3, 6, 9, 10, which we just saw, to win your first U.S. Open? And he said about 3 things in 5 seconds, and it was 3 ways to shoot it. He chose the right way and executed perfectly.
12th career major, all-time record goes for lucky number 13 today, and the confidence clearly exuding from Jason Belmonte. One word, as he now has the Super Slam, guys, tying Mike Albee, the legend, the Hall of Famer. He said, what I'd like to do is do it again. Repeat a Super Slam. Of course,
yeah,
that's never been done. More on the king of the majors. What a career, Norm, for Belmo.
Yeah, already what a career for Belmo. And, the dominance that we see from him is unprecedented. There are other players out there that could be dominant right now, but not when Jason Belmonte's in the building. No way.
Norman, who's the best player on the planet right now?
Oh, Belmonte by far.
Who's the greatest player ever?
Belmonte.
Really?
Yeah.
No Earl Anthony, no Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Well, yeah, they've had it for a long time, but not now.
Wow.
I've seen enough.
All right, guys, so no audience today. As Coley Edison, the CEO of the PBA, mentioned, it's important for fan safety with what's happening with the coronavirus. So, Randy, I'm going to ask you first. You're competing out there for a huge amount of money, $250,000, plus possibly $1 million if you get a 300 in the championship match. No fans. How would that affect you?
Well, I think that you're asking me personally how it would affect me?
Yes.
It would be a little weird at the start, but I think that after a couple of shots, my focus is going to be 100% completely dedicated to shot making and my process and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do. And I think the fact that there's no fans here would just be an afterthought. I think you just get so focused, so tunneled, that you just kind of lose yourself. And if you can get to that spot, I don't think you'll even notice, for the most part, that the fans aren't here.
Yeah, I agree with you. These guys are going to bowl for $300,000 today. Fans or no fans, there's an Earl Anthony trophy at stake. They know exactly what to do. Look how many times we play at 7 and 8 in the morning when, there's not a whole lot of fans either. I think they're going to be just fine. And that $1 million bonus on this Earl Anthony pattern, it could be done.
Now, wait a minute. Let me ask you why, though.
Why?
Why do you think that?
Ordinarily I wouldn't, because normally the patterns for the majors are tougher. But this week, for some reason, after the animal patterns, we get to the World Championship, or the Earl Anthony pattern, and the scores escalated 10, 12 pins per game. That's for everyone, by the way. The only people that didn't see that escalation were the left-handers, which I didn't see that coming either. But so much of this has been like a different environment, Randy, all together.
I love the opinions, guys. I love the takes. Let's find out how Belmo's feeling right now. He's joined live lane level by Kimberly.
So, Jason, it's been a really big week for you. This is the 5th consecutive TV major final. Plus, you come in as the #1 seed, but I don't even think that's the highlight of the week because you have some super special fans here. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's an amazing week to have played so well. I managed to fly my family in, Kimberly, Aria, Hugo, and Sylvie, who are usually back home, but this week they've spent the time in Las Vegas with me, and to bowl so well and to be the #1 seed, to bowl not 1 but 2 perfect games in front of them was really, really special. I told the kids that I was trying to bowl a perfect game for each of them. So I have 2, but I have 3 kids. 1 more game left. I don't want to disappoint my youngest, so I better find 12 more good shots.
And that's in the final, so $1 million is in play. But can we talk about the fact that there's no fans here? Does that change things for you and the other players?
Oh, I think a little bit, but for the most part, my process and the way that I'm going about today is business as usual. You know, I'm going through the same routines, preparing myself as best as I possibly can, as I do every week, getting myself into a really positive mindset. It'll be very weird once the ball starts going down the lane and it strikes or doesn't, and usually you hear that crowd reaction, but I'll have 4 really loud people in the crowd to tell me if I've done well or not.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Good luck to you. We'll see you in the finals.
Cheers.
53 major appearances, Kimberly, and 28 times he's been top 5 as Belmo goes for yet another major championship. Today here in fabulous Las Vegas, PBA World Championship on FS1. We're going to start with our first match. Francois Lavoie, who here in 2016 U.S. Open threw a perfect game in the semifinals en route to a win. E.J. Tackett, Chris Vai, and Simo, the young star Anthony Simonson, are all here. It's on the way. Here we go, PBA World Championship, part of the World Series of Bowling. Ready to compete in Las Vegas, South Point Bowling Plaza. With Ryan Norm-Duke, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler with you live in Vegas. Time to meet our bowlers.
A 3-time member of Team USA in the 2016 U.S. National Amateur Champion, Chris Vai.
The first of our 3 two-handed players on the telecast. He made his first TV show a couple weeks ago. Let's see what he's learned here in his second major show.
Two shows, 2 majors, not bad. Also U.S. Open Lincoln a couple weeks back. Won, of course, by Belmo for the Super Slam. Time to bowl in Vegas, underway. Great start for Chris Vai. Do have family and friends here. Each bowler, maybe up to 5 representatives.
The 2016 Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year with 2 U.S. Open major titles, Francois Lavoie.
Frankie making his first show of the season. His last win was last year's U.S. Open. Today, he looks to finesse his way to title number 5 and his 3rd major.
Yeah, and Francois, he 4-seed. He got the choice. He's decided to finish first, putting all that pressure, should it be a match in the 10th, on Chris Vai.
Remember when I was talking about the oil pattern, Dave? And I said that Frankie was the only player that's going to be playing in that zone. Well, we saw Chris Vai's first shot was identical to Frankie's. Well, that's because Chris Vai is using urethane. Frankie Lavoie is using reactive resin. And for those of you that don't know about the difference in bowling balls, well, urethane doesn't hook.
It doesn't. That's why Francois Lavoie is going to use a urethane ball here at his spare, because it doesn't hook.
4-pin guys, has it, and has his mark. It is an unusual atmosphere without the applause for strikes and spares.
It's
going to have to
crazy.
use that, guys.
Crazy.
It's like practice.
Wow.
Arsenal, Norm, for Francois. What do you think?
Well, I think that he's certainly correct in picking the reactive balls. It's actually 2 balls. He's using a green ball on the left lane. That's an IQ Tour Emerald. On the right lane,
Axiom.
brand spanking new Axiom.
Lavoie tries for his first title of the season. Here's Mr. U.S. Open with the 2 majors.
So take a look here. We talked about it in the Open. Just right of second arrow. Not a lot of head belly through the front part of the lane, and just using his great touch.
Yeah, and it looks like he's hooking the ball a little bit, but not in comparison to the other guys. The two-handers will be circling that whole lane.
Pitch purple for Chris Vai. That is a urethane ball.
Only second ever TV show. This guy knows when to come through in big events with 2 major TV appearances. First time ever against anyone on TV in this field. And yeah, let's go back, Normie.
Holy cow, look at that.
7-year-old Chris. That was in Kentucky, suburban Cincinnati at an event. Don't suppose you remember that, do you?
I don't, and he told me about it, and I
That's
thought,
pretty cool.
wow. He was 7
years old. Yeah, great memories of that. He started bowling at 18 months old, he told us. Dad bowled in 8 leagues a week. His dad is very active in the sport. And Chris, a tremendous 3-time All-American at Notre Dame College of Ohio.
Norm, that was the last time you were taller than Chris Bob.
Yeah, I think so.
I wasn't going to go there, Norm. I was not going to go there.
That's okay. I don't mind.
I, too, vertically challenged. I understand.
Yeah,
he has 1-3 pocket. Looking good, guys.
Aced it. Again, check out his numbers. 10. Second arrow at the arrows, out to 7. And he's just pretty much on top of the last shot he threw on that left lane. Again, the rev rate is the big difference as to why these 2 players are using 2 different bowling balls, Norm.
There's no doubt about it. And, you know, hats off to Chris Vi to be able to go that straight with 2 hands. You know, most of the time it takes the 2-handed players a little bit of time to learn how to go more direct.
Perfect shot. Shreds the rack. A great start for Chris Vi, though, with the first 3.
Yeah, right now you can lay down stripes from each of the players, and they're right on top of each other. Maybe Frankie's 1 board right of Chris Vi with a stronger ball.
300 that Lavoie had 2016 in this building, November of 2016. En route to the championship, beat Sean Maldonado. Well, there were no TV 300s until this year. Tommy Jones in Arlington, Texas to open up the season. God. Feeling good, looking good. And these guys clearly have pretty good mastery early on the 43-foot oil pattern, Randy.
Well, they're making good shots. And, I mean, Frankie Lavoie, that's his bread and butter, is making shots. I mean, he has to. His pocket's going to be a little more narrow than the power players, and so he's got to make better shots.
Right, but he's going to throw it flush a lot more often than the power players. They're just relying on pin action, pin carry, and power. Frankie's relying on throwing it high, flush, 10 back.
Chris Vi feeling it. All 10 back. Those pins have no chance.
Good shot.
It's a great start. 4 strikes in this match. Chris Vi should hear any other player on today's show roll a perfect game. Everyone in America can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. To pre-register for a free game, simply head to GoBowling.com. Sign up for the Go Bowling Free America promotion. I've got my smartphone ready, guys. I'm ready.
Oh, I'm in the bank. I need free bowling.
I want to sign up.
I got to tell you guys, with less eyes on you right now, I think it's much easier to pry it off, to get into this groove earlier. I think there's less nerves because there's less eyes.
Good observation. And a great start continues here.
And
Chris Vi is on fire.
And what I mean by pry it off is being able to execute and let go.
Let go without having drag off that thumb, yeah.
I mean, really, you guys have competed and won so many times in this tour. You know exactly what these bowlers are going through. With a big crowd, where they file in, I mean, it's the one time during the week you have that sort of number of people that close to you, responding to every shot.
Norm,
this is a big difference today.
Norm, I mean, come on. You've been there 3 times more than I have, but, I mean, you know the difference come TV day. It's a way different feel and atmosphere.
It's got a hook.
Dead.
That's why he's using the Axiom on the right lane, because it tends to get up when the IQ Tour Emerald doesn't.
Yeah, it's a little bit stronger.
Stronger, of course.
Yeah.
Got a great match here, guys. Bagger Lavoie on the front 5 for Chris Vi.
Surprised you got the 10 out late, Norm?
Yes, I think that was, fortunate. Usually you're relying on the 6 pin to get the 10. I think the 9 pin got it that time.
Well, the last time I got a hit like that, I paid the mechanic in the back.
Mr. One-Liner. Although I'm not sure I've heard that one before. I've heard pretty much the rest of your one line.
I've got new stuff for you today.
You've got new material. I love it.
To pull even in the match.
Isn't it a great game, though? I mean, that's a better shot, and he leaves that 10-pin.
10-pin standing, that's it.
Yeah, it looks like he aced it.
Yeah. Interesting, when we talked to Chris Vi yesterday, we asked him about how much urethane are you going to use? Are you going to use, because he's used it off and on throughout the week, and he said, yeah, you know what, I don't really think I'm going to use it. Boy, how things have changed.
10-pin guys, cross lane, Francois Lavoie. Quebec City, Quebec, Canada has got it. Perfect game. Chris Vi, the 5 seed, has the front 5. No $1 million here in the first match on the line, but still
a lot of free
plenty to
bowling
play
on the
for.
line.
That's right. Perfect start for Vi. More coming up. Our fabulous Final 5, total of 47 titles, 18 majors led by Belmo, 23 crowns, 12 majors, an all-time PBA Tour record. Time now for a brand new feature on the PBA Tour. Randy Peterson takes an in-depth look at one of those PBA Pro style. In today's Storm Form, let's look at Francois Lavoie.
Storm form analysis. Frankie Lavoie, typical backswing for most of the pros. Here's where it gets different. Go ahead and run it, Steve-O. Right here, you don't see near as much load in the downswing, but look at how far out in front that release point is, out in front of that slide foot. Normally, you see that release point a little bit closer to the left ankle, Norm.
Yeah, that's a lot like Weber. Weber carried it across the line a lot. Most of the guys today, they're going to yo-yo that thing and really pop it at the bottom, so it kind of goes a level to the lane. His carries over that point. That's to give him a little more loft and such a free release with it that he doesn't have to, clench his teeth and grab it.
Well, one thing you can't do when you only use 2 fingers and no thumb is grab it.
No grab.
No. That's one of the advantages for the two-handers.
Yeah. Front 5 here, guys. As Chris Vi is perfect so far. He did have a 300 game at this event, qualifying round 3 on the chameleon pattern.
He doesn't like it.
Doesn't like it. And leaves the 4 pin.
Yeah.
There goes 300.
Well, he got lucky there because you could see just how far left that shot was. Almost 3 boards. He threw it faster, and if it wasn't for the urethane bowling ball, there was no chance of that ball hitting the right side of the head.
You're exactly right. And fresh out of a commercial break as well. That's a hard thing to do. These players have been sitting there for 2 or 3, 4 minutes thinking about what they're going to do.
Yeah. Changes the rhythm just enough, doesn't it, Norm?
Yes. Plastic ball right at that 4 pin.
He's got that. He's got his mark. Mom Angie is here, all the way from Ohio. After interviewing Chris, he was racing off to the airport here in Vegas to pick Angie up.
Hello, Angie.
She was at his show in Nebraska when he made the U.S. Open telecast. Both Angie and Chris's father were there.
Bowls out of Northridge Lanes, Springfield, Ohio, not far from Dayton. Great bowling area. Dayton, Ohio. Max scores. 7-frame close match. He's got it. All right. He told us yesterday he's going to win because it's my time. And he's been bowling tremendously well. We'll get this straight in a moment. No problem.
279 max score for Vi, 269 max score for Lavoie. And what Frankie needs to do now is keep striking and put some pressure back on Chris.
Back at Francois, bidding for his 3rd major. All 10 back. Into the back of the pit. Perfect shot in that 1-3 pocket.
Well, let's take a look and compare the 2 players. We've got Chris Vi on the left, Frankie Lavoie on the right. Chris just a little bit deeper at the arrows and a little bit straighter. As you can see here, his angles are a little bit straighter, but here's the big number right here, rev rate.
Lavoie, owner of the only 300 game on TV in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, Frankie
Very
just
limited.
made it just a subtle move there off of that ring in 10. You see that 6-pin just tomahawk that 10-pin. That is how you know a bowler has control over what he's doing.
And guys, we're all even here. What a match to begin the PBA World Championship. Anthony Simonson coming up next, trying for a third major. The young star from Texas.
Yeah, we're even, but the max score is still 10 pins apart. We got 269, 279 on max scores. Lavoie's throwing one more shot. This is to maintain a 10-pin lead.
Up 10 with us in the 8th, Norm. Kick on the 10, down it goes. A 10-pin advantage for Chris Vi.
A great time to catch a messenger for Chris Vi. Watch this pin action here. Head pin to the sidewall. Something takes the 7 out, and the head pin takes the 10 out. Yeah, that's another big advantage for the two-handers.
It's a big advantage, and they can rely on that bird dog, where it used to, we got 1 or 2 a week.
Foundation frame to go by 20. You bet.
Yeah, the thing about the power game today, Norm, is that carrying those hits, those back-to-back hits, with an average rev rate, possibly leave the 10-pin. You don't get the scout or the messenger, the bird dog, like you call it, or maybe leave that 7-pin. On this hit here, you don't carry the shaker.
Well,
or
not
you
as
carry,
often.
Or
If
you
we do
carry one or the other.
One or the other,
but
yeah.
not both.
Correct.
Not all the time, but enough to where over a course of 56 games makes a big difference.
Lavoie tries to respond here. And will. Tap on the 10, down it goes. Pulls within 10 pins.
That's a great touch,
Right
too.
down to the wire here, guys, in the strike fest.
Great touch again. The 6-pin tomahawks the 10.
Would you say that right now angle is Frankie Lavoie's best friend?
It's necessary for him because of his rev rate, so he gets that little bit of angle. He's got to have a nice touch. That's to get the 6-pin off the wall and into the 10. And he did a great job of it. The only thing he didn't do was carry the ring in 10 in the 6th frame, which was one of his best shots, I think.
15 combined strikes, no opens.
Frankie chose to finish first. This is his choice.
Lavoie responds again with a huge strike. And again, we are all even. As Lily correctly pointed out, the max scores are different. Chris Vi a chance. This is going down right to the wire, fellas, clearly.
If Frankie Lavoie strikes out, he'll force Chris Vi to double in the 10th.
That's why I won on this Bowling Center 2014 for Wichita State as well. Intercollegiate Singles Championship. Chris Vi was on that show. Chris lost in the semifinals. They are reunited here today. Chris 28 years old, Francois 27. Everything at stake here in the World Championship. There's another strike.
Oh, that's a big shot. Big shot. He got it in just a pinch. Maybe didn't catch all of it, Randy, but he got that hit.
Yep. I mean, the pin carry in game 1 has been phenomenal.
It has been.
I can't tell you how many times I've done shows with Rob Stone, and the guys are leaving 10-pin after 10-pin, and it just, Rob just keeps getting
He does
more,
not like that 10-pin.
He keeps getting more and
He
more
gets agitated.
aggravated and just.
I watch your shows.
Oh, it's
I know.
nuts. It's so funny.
All right, big shot here with count. He needs a strike.
Lavoie needs it, gets it again.
Great clutch finish there in the 9th and 10th frame from Frankie Lavoie.
Yeah, anything less than a strike there allows Chris Vi to throw one and then a higher count to tie or win. That was a big shot there. That forces him to get both strikes. Now, does Frankie's decision to make Chris Vi finish on the right lane last matter?
Chris Vi's only missed one time on this right lane.
Needs 2 and 1 pin. There it is, guys. To advance. 10 strikes for Francois. Chris Vi told us yesterday this is his time. Doesn't get help on the 10.
How about that?
Francois Lavoie will advance on the bench.
That is his decision. And you can see Chris got out of that ball a little bit offside of the ball, maybe a little bit early. And even though he was left of target, it didn't roll.
Flat 10. So the accuracy and
Terrible shot.
And the 269.
the accuracy and then the great finish in the 9th and 10th overcame the power game for once. And Frankie Lavoie will move on to take on another two-hander in Anthony Simonson.
Which should be a great match. Chris Vi back to suburban Dayton. Well, the folks at TV Bowling Supply were excited. Chris Vi runs that shot back home in Ohio. So 2 majors for Vi, come up short twice. Anthony Simonson knows a thing or two about winning majors. He takes on Lavoie when we return to Vegas. All right, guys, let's flash back. Woodland Bowl, Indianapolis, PBA. Roth Holman, PBA doubles team of the Iceman, Jesper Svensson. And the pro with a fro, Kyle Troop, looking for their second doubles title. And when Marshall Kent left it open frame in the 10th, this was tough for Marshall. Troop and Svensson capture the title, defeating Kent and EJ Tackett. Troop, there it is. I love the celebration. I mean, this is real. This is emotion, and we know what Kyle Troop went through not too much earlier, losing his mom.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty fun to watch. And that was their second doubles championship, something you know a little bit about, Norm.
Yeah, but I've had a great doubles partner as well.
It's all about the doubles partner.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hey
it's all
guys,
about
time
the
now
partner.
for the PBA Playoffs point list. It's a list of the top 30 players on the points list for the PBA Playoffs. It's up to the minute. Of course, things are on hold right now, PBA Tour and the worldwide coronavirus pandemic. So be sure to log on to PBA.com to stay up to date. We'll update you as soon as things become clear down the road.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do with trying to figure out where you're going to be? I mean, you see Chris Vi is inside the number, but that could certainly change depending on the shows that we still have to do. If the Masters is still going to go, remember, the Masters was supposed to be the last show to earn points, and that's been postponed as well.
All right, let's look ahead now. Anthony Simonson, who has been so good in big tournaments. He's got the 2 majors. He's such a young guy, a young stud on the Go Bowling PBA Tour. Francois Lavoie in this very building, guys, as we talked about, has had success and did it again in the first match against Chris Vi. Let's look ahead, Randy. How do you preview match number 2?
Well, I mean, you can never bet against Anthony Simonson. He's so good, so clever. But that man right there, Tim Mack, with his back to you in the blue, during the break when we were changing our positions, he told me, don't let Frankie Lavoie get comfortable.
Yeah, I heard that. I agree with him. Don't let, and he is comfortable. Look, he's got the game under him. So he comes in a little bit used to this, the atmosphere where Anthony Simon's got to just pull himself together and start from scratch with a couple of strikes.
Now, Simon told us walking into the bowling center here today, about 2 hours ago, not feeling great. Headache, sick last night, feeling better now. But how would that affect him, Randy, do you think?
Simonson?
Yep.
It doesn't. He's 23.
So
I mean,
no
if it was me,
no problem.
I'd probably have a hard go, but it doesn't affect him.
We can't wait. Match number 2 here in Vegas. PBA World Championship. Simonson Lavoie. This should be a classic on FS1. Francois Lavoie, Quebec City, Canada. Anthony Simonson, the young Texan. It's on the way. Francois Lavoie has advanced already here at South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas. Now Anthony Simonson awaits. Step ladder 269, 258 for Lavoie. As he comes through late, more of a Chris Vi, the youngster denied a chance for his first career PBA Tour title. Simonson Lavoie next.
The youngest ever to win 2 PBA majors with 7 career PBA Tour titles, Anthony Simonson.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what a year he had in 2019, making almost 300 grand. This year he's at it again. His runner-up finish to Jason Belmonte at the U.S. Open didn't faze him. Today he looks for his first win of 2020.
Said last night to us, sure I want to win, but a lot of positives to build and move forward after getting so close in Lincoln, Nebraska. He's got to try to get through Lavoie. As we talked about a moment ago, the experience of one match under his belt. Match 2 underway. Lavoie. A good shot, 10-pin stands.
So Norm, Anthony Simonson, the higher seed, gets choice of starting lane. Has Lavoie start the match on the left lane.
Yeah, that makes him finish the match, just like we just watched Chris Vi. You know, it's something about finishing first for me. I always select that when I have the choice, and that is so that I can try and force my opponent in or lock him out and not just stand up there and have the whole world watch me dog it.
You didn't dog it very often.
Well, a decent shot out of the gate for Frankie. He got a flat 10. It's not quite the roll he won on it, but look, he'll shake that off.
Second ever match, head-to-head. Simonson and Lavoie on TV. Simon lost. 164, the first and only matchup.
Well, there you go. There's the curve we were talking about in the open.
Last tight lane. Can I have a re-rack, please?
Early re-rack called for by Simo.
Yeah, and he didn't even look at the rack. He just needed some more time.
Yeah.
You could tell. You got to get a couple of shots under him before you kind of calm down. And Frankie, no, he's pretty much starting right where he left off.
Well, Frankie also knows exactly what the lanes are giving him. He's seen what little transition there was. Chris Vi throwing the urethane ball. What that creates is early hook in the front and pushes all down the lane. So he's seen that. But what's interesting is that Simonson is using the exact same 2 bowling balls on the right and left lane. So he's going with an Axiom on the right lane and the IQ Tour Emerald on the left. So Norm, why is that? Left lane has to hook more, right?
Right. I think the right lane is just so tight that they need more ball to get response late. On the left lane, however, they've got plenty of hook. They're trying to create lay left. So it's amazing that these two would pick exactly the same balls on exactly the same lanes. We don't see that very often. On the PBA Tour, we don't go to our go-to ball. You know, there's not one in there that we say, this is our ball. We go to what we think we need.
Keep in mind that these two are also on the same staff, on the same pro staff.
From Rookie of the Year, guys. Got all 10 back on the scoreboard. You can see bottom left of your screen how many re-racks each bowler has. Simonson 1 remaining. Lavoie has the full 2 complement in this match.
Simonson a good 12 boards left of Frankie Lavoie at the arrows, and so this is 2 players playing the lanes completely opposite. But this is what Frankie does best, and you know, everybody thinks that all the 2-handers can do is hook it, but Simonson can play. He could be right on top of where Frankie is if he wanted to.
No question. That's why, you know, each of our last 2-handers have been there in the U.S. Open.
4-pin.
And the good carry that he had the last game is vanished in 3 frames in game 2. 10-pin in the first, 4-pin here in the third. .98% conversion rate.
Yeah, one of the tour's best spare players right there. Has to be.
There you go. There's his arsenal. Just mentioned it.
Yeah, these are big shots right here because, you know what? If Lavoie's not going to be starting to strike and Simonson can just open up with the 4-bagger right here, he goes up by 30 quick.
Simonson looking for help on the 7. A little nudge, but it stays up.
That was a little farther right down lane, but I think that was because of his first shot that creeped up just a little high flush on him, Norm.
Takes care of the mark. He's got it. No reason to worry Anthony. Let's go back to Kimberly.
Well, guys, during interviews yesterday, I asked the athletes what they plan to do with their unexpected time off, and a lot said they just plan to relax at home, but not Anthony. He said he's physically bowling the best he ever has, so he plans to practice at least 3 to 4 days a week to keep that up. Now, this may not be out of the ordinary for most, but Anthony is known as one of the guys who doesn't normally practice, ever.
So, a little more time on their hands, Kimberly. We'll see how Simo responds with a little more time to get ready. 4-pin here, guys. What do you think with the PBA Tour on hold after this event for now? We hope it returns soon. A lot more time for the bowlers.
Yeah, I don't think that Anthony Simonson is just going to dedicate himself to practice because he needs it or wants to stay sharp, as much as there's just not a lot of things to bowl. And that's what he does. He bowls tournaments all the time, and that keeps him sharp. A guy like me, I may take a break, a month, 3 weeks, whatever. Yeah, I got to practice a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, Randy, he just yanked that from the push away. You could see it in his first step. He pushed it out there nicely and then grabbed it and yanked it back. That's uncharacteristic for somebody who is so calm and seemingly comfortable.
I mean, the location looked pretty good, but that ball looked like it was hydroplaning for about 50 feet.
Yeah, not his best shot, but an easy spare. He didn't leave that 2-4-8-10 like we've seen so many times this week.
Just a 2-4 here, Normie, and takes care of that. Another close match here in Vegas.
Oh, we had such great pin carry in game one, and now all of a sudden it's really slowed down. But check it out, like pocket hit percentage. Frankie led in that statistic, but he had the lowest carry percentage. You can see all the players in the 80s, and then obviously the higher rev players striking more often when they did hit the pocket.
Yeah, much better. A lot better touch. That 6-spin does damage on the 10 like he's expecting. And you saw that carry percentage. Guess who is the front runner in that carry percentage? Belmo.
Yeah, Jason Belmonte.
It's just because he has that much more power than everyone else. Even more than Anthony Simonson, also the two-hander, but Belmo's unique that way.
Simonson. But the 9-pin.
You know, the only thing I question is the steepness of the angle. You've got that ball just getting to about 45 feet, and then looks like somebody kicks it left, and it's obvious that it's something that he's used the entire event. And it had to have worked at some point. I mean, he averaged 248 for the last 26 games of this tournament.
Yeah, and we had non-reactive going down with Chris Vi the first 2 games. That's going to track oil down to the drier part of the lane quicker and much more of it. That retards the ball's ability to hook. He's trying to make it hook. There's where you get the steep angles.
Simon won twice last year on tour, including a major. There's all 10 back of the pin again. Is it time? 60 feet to success for Anthony Simonson.
Good one, Dave. I'll tell you what.
Some fun here, Randy.
It's great fun, but we've got a lot more action to come from the South Point Bowling Plaza. Stay with us.
Really close family and friends, tournament officials, safety first here in Las Vegas. This event not open to the public. But it's been, guys, a great event. This is Dave Ryan alongside Hall of Famers Alan Duke, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler with us as well. BJ Tackett, the 2 seed, awaits the winner of this, and the top of the step ladder is none other than Jason Belmonte.
With a strike here in the 6th frame, Lavoie takes the lead by 1.
Out of commercial break, so this is one of the toughest shots to throw.
Sixth frame, looks for a lead. Got it. Francois Lavoie feeling good.
As Frankie heads over to the left lane, we're going to take a look at what the two players are doing on that left lane. You can see location completely different. Break point is almost similar. That makes sense. And entry position is obviously going to be a little bit different because of the angle that Anthony Simonson is playing. But check out the difference in that number. That's lay down.
Lay down area, yeah.
Yeah, 34 and 14, 20 boards apart. And I was told there would be no math.
Big difference left lane. Francois Lavoie.
Normally looked like he got it in.
He got it in, and he got it fast. Normally, when you get it in, you'd like to throw it a little bit quicker, right? But when there's a lot of oil, you get it in and you get that speed going, and there's nothing to slow this ball down.
Two-pin, all standing, guys. He's got that no problem. Talked about in the pregame show, Francois trying to change his game last year. A power player, higher rev rate, worked with Team Canada coaches and his tour reps, and it did not work for him. So back to what he does best, and are we seeing a good example of that today? His forte, Normie?
Well, yes, he built 269 right out of the gate.
So, yeah.
That's pretty doggone good. I tell you what, though, that 9 spare right there just opened Simonson's eyes.
Changed balls.
Pays off.
A little more angle down lane right there, folks.
Yeah, and Randy, to your point, where he was getting a little too steep on the back end on the right lane, he made a ball change. He did exactly what you would have done. And look at this.
How do you know I would have done that?
Because I've
never curved it that much in my life, played that much angle or curved it that much ever.
You did when you were 20.
Oh, I did when they oiled him like 23 feet.
Simo up 10 here, guys. 8th frame. Chance for a 20-pin lead and a turkey. How about 3 in a row, young man? Yes.
Wow. You know, it's like you don't expect this from a 23-year-old. And we say it every time we see him, Norm. And I want to get kind of your take on it, but I mean, he just does things that a 23-year-old doesn't do. You know, he never panicked. He just kind of kept feeling his way, made the ball change, and now he's up by 20.
Yeah, and that last shot, he posted up. It was his perfect shot. Frankie knows it.
Lavoie responds.
And here,
Number 2 seed is next. The winner of this one here in Vegas.
That is a hook.
He did not.
Game over.
And that's it. 2-8-10.
He got it right, and there's a little bit of slickness in that part of the lane. An errant shot.
Not made very often. Even at this level. Leaves a 10-pin.
Well, it's not made very often by a shot maker, and I would consider Frankie Lavoie a shot maker, wouldn't you, Norm?
mm-hmm. Yes, I'm 40 years in. I've made it twice, lifetime. So
Twice.
even if he had have made it, this kid Simonson is unshakable.
Yeah, he's going to test the waters now with a new ball.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yep.
He told us last night he was bowling the best he has in his career. His game is in tremendous shape. Got this win in the bag. 3-6 up as he goes high here late in this match number 2. Simo's going to take on E.J. Tacker, the 2 seed next.
And you know, to win majors, you have to have things go your way. And for Simonson, he started off and he was using the wrong ball on the right lane, I think. But because Francois is looking at 190 to 2-0 instead of what Vi looked at from Lavoie at 269, those are the types of things that you just have to go your way.
Chris Vi shoots 258 and loses.
And loses.
And that would have won this game.
You might have won all the games except the first one. so many great players coming out of Texas. I mean, for the last 40 years, Texas seems to just breed some really strong athletes.
Main 10 pin there. Aren't you a Texan originally?
I am.
Uh-huh.
You know, one of my favorite bowlers from Texas, other than Norm Duke and Del Ballard Jr., Gary Dickinson.
Gary Dickinson, I imagine. David Ozio, Wes Malott, Robert Lawrence, Ballard. The list goes on, but now you got the new breed coming out.
Scroggy.
Yeah, Scroggy from
Mike
Amarillo.
Scroggins, yeah. There's probably a bunch more we're forgetting, and they're mad at us.
Some of the greats. Not a complete list.
I just loved watching Dickinson, though. He just had a sick style that was very unique. Tall man that, and, you know, and the way he licked his thumb before he put his hand in the ball.
And wanted to give you a high five.
Right?
Love that guy. One of my favorite guys ever.
Simo wraps up a win over Frankie Lavoie in match 2. E.J. Tackett, the 2 seed, awaits Simonson. Tackett next. Let's listen to E.J. Tackett and his tour win.
I don't know how that one 2-4-8-10.
No. I mean, I thought you were slow enough.
Yeah, I mean, I missed a little in, but I didn't think it would.
Is there anything we can shell up to?
I feel like my only chance at the headpin is to go straight. That's why I tried to do it there, but I was so far open the whole time.
Orange winner or blue winner to do that? Let me go grab one.
No, they're both going to go too forward.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do it with one of those. I mean,
yeah, you got to have them.
even.
And he'd have to open.
I got 2-0, bro. Like, I know. He's just going to try not to embarrass myself. At this point.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's talk about being on the island alone. He's got 202 max, I believe, 40. Yeah, 202, and then Simonson can still shoot 250, so.
He's in cruise control right now, fellas. 6th frame. Right lane for Simonson. 47 pin advantage. All 10 back into the pit. Those pins had no chance whatsoever.
It's the biggest difference I see, Norm, is the break point down lane.
Yeah, he's all the way out to 6-7 board down lane. That's where the friction is. So if you can get it there, soft speed, it'll come all the way back.
But we've seen E.J. Tackett throw several shots that were right of that break point.
Yes, but I don't think they're supposed to be right. I think that they're
You think
into
they're pushing
out and
right?
they're pushing
Gotcha.
that way, yeah.
Makes sense.
Two titles last year for Simonson. Get it done in 2020, but watch out. It's the 7-10. And it's a rarity to have that convert on TV. Just Road, Tucson, Arizona. 1991, the last time it's happened.
First ever to make it on television, the great Mark Roth.
No! Oh, he just
my.
about did it across the lane, you guys. It was bouncing to the 7, and I thought for a second he'd have it. Oh, Simo. That was close.
I'll tell you what, there are not a lot of eyes in this building right now, but the ones that are in here are real big.
Whoa, just in front.
Is that crazy?
Mark Roth, 1980, Alameda, California. Just there at the last time it happened.
John Mazza, don't forget him.
91 Sunrise, Florida. So Mazza and Staybrook both did it in 91 in Florida and Arizona.
And cup. He doesn't have to forcefully cup it
No.
because it's falling straight down.
Right.
My swing's coming from a different area. Much tougher for me to cup a ball.
Well, and then the beauty of his follow-through with that open hand, kind of like Pete Weber.
Yes.
And it just shows you that there's no grab and there's no up hit or no trying to lift the bowling ball.
Belmo's next.
Schroeder, have a re-rack, please.
Well, Tackett needed some help. Simonson gave him some with that bad break in the 7th frame with the 7-10. Thing is, he's still got a 5-pin count advantage. So if Simonson can fill frames, he's still going to be okay. But don't think Tackett's out of this yet, because that left lane, there's 7-10s over there.
Hey, listen, if he doesn't strike on this ball, EJ Tackett still has a chance.
As for the first of 2 rebacks, PBA Tour's Dave Schroeder.
I mean, it went from a runaway to all of a sudden things are kind of interesting. What if he 7-10s again here?
Let's find out. Left lane for Simon. Ball down in the pit. Just shrapnel remaining.
Yeah, he moved another board or 2 on the approach and just caught all of that. That's what got the ball to recover down lane so much.
Yeah, now he's back in the 200s, and he's got count on his side. So all he needs is a mark with good count.
But it's a major. Harder to mark.
Now it's over.
Yeah, and EJ made the right move. I mean, he came up with a double, but there's so much oil down lane now.
Yeah.
Like we've said, the oil is pushing down and carrying down and retarding the ball's ability to strike now. By the way, if you see this at home, you wonder what to do. Yeah, go straighter. Get a big ball, go straight, get that ball to lay in the pocket instead of try to make it back and recover.
Create a game where you have the ability to do that.
Well, he does.
No, he does. I'm saying folks at home, you know, you can't be one-dimensional. You know, if all you can do is hook it and that doesn't work, where do you go?
Two major shows. He'll come up empty this season. EJ Tackett. Top seed of the players. Columbus here in Vegas.
Amazing how much
Simonson will best him today.
Amazing how much straighter that is.
Yeah, the only problem, it took him too long to get there. I mean, you get 3 6-3s up there in the first 5 frames. Well, yeah, you're not going to win a whole lot of matches doing that. And I'm not saying that he got there late. I'm saying he needed to get there earlier.
Had a chance, guys, with a win today to join the Millionaires Club. His career,
yeah,
bad at 27 years old.
Right. Yeah, if he would have won this match, he makes $1 million in his very short career.
Only 27, guys. I mean, what a future is ahead for EJ Tackett.
Only 27 and only his 8th year on tour.
He always takes the Tiger Woods approach to every event he plays in. I go to win. I'm not going for second place or third. I mean, he will be disappointed, Norm. That's the type of competitor that EJ Tackett is. But he'll also be back when the PBA Tour resumes. We hope that's soon. Be sure to log on to PBA.com for all the latest updates.
The elbow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Guess that's what I needed to do.
Hopefully that won't last long.
Well, he said he didn't want to embarrass himself. I don't think he did that.
No, absolutely not.
This is one of bowling's superstars right now. Like we said before in the Open, if it wasn't for Belmonte, this guy may be dominating.
Simonson takes care of EJ Tackett, climbing the ladder here in Vegas, and you know who's next, right? The #1 seed, going for yet another major championship. Jason Belmonte, family here from Australia. This event closed to the public.
Oh, he's going to test the water.
Long trip. There's a ring of 10-pin. And they're ready to watch Belmo go for it all again. Trying for another PBA World Championship. Extend his record for career majors next from Vegas. South Point Bowling Plaza. And the PBA World Championship. We are ready for the championship match. Jason Belmonte will take on the 3-seed Anthony Simonson at stake. A huge payday, a major championship, and part of PBA Tour history. The family all the way from Australia is here now with Kimberly.
They sure are, and Jason just came over and got hugs and kisses before he went out there. Now, Kimberly, you were with Jason when he won his very first title, but these adorableness kiddos right there have never seen him ever in a major TV event. So, Hugo, how excited are you to be here to watch your daddy today?
So excited.
And Arya, how about you?
I'm super excited. It's been really fun to watch Dad in real life.
Aww. And Miss Sylvie, is there anything that you want to tell Daddy?
I can't remember what I'm saying.
What about
good luck?
She's so cute. Guys, we're going to send it back to you. Top that cuteness if you can.
Oh, we can't, Kimberly. You can't do that.
No.
That was off the cuteness charts from little Sylvie.
Yeah, what a beautiful family.
Oh, man.
Oh, my
Hugo's
gosh.
haircut. That is awesome. He is rocking it.
The tournament leaders, the all-time PBA major titles champion with 12, the 5-time PBA Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte.
Fresh off his U.S. Open win, the best bowler on the planet is a major championship monster. No one has more major wins than Jason Belmonte.
Going for lucky number 13 here today, Randy. Earl Anthony 10, Pete Weber 10, might all be 8. Walter A. Williams Jr. 8. Guy beside me, Norm Duke, 7 majors.
The biggest difference right here, and you hear Jason Belmonte talk a lot about it, Norm, where he thinks that, or he says publicly that this young man here is the guy that's going to carry the torch when Jason Belmonte retires.
We might have $1 million here, guys, with a 300 title match. Here we go.
You just jinxed him, Dave.
Sorry. Well, the graphic was up there.
I understand.
Play-by-play, guys. Got to read the graphic when it comes up. It's my job. And a split to boot here for Simo. Still a possibility for Belmo, of course.
All right, so he's going to try to get his bowling ball to the left side of that 2-pin and cut it into the 10. Missed them both.
Whiffed.
That's not the ball.
Yeah, and that 210 is either going to send him into another ball or it's going to send him into the straight non-reactive.
Now, you heard him say that's not the ball. Remember, he tried his 10th frame, he threw a couple of straight shots on that right lane. Belmo, when we watched him practice, it looked like all he was doing was standing left and throwing right.
Yes. Well, he's got another octave of power than Simo does.
Yes, he does.
10-pin, tripped out late.
Yeah. Something Norm and I are unfamiliar with. Just a filthy messenger to start for Jason Belmonte.
Yeah, and where everybody else's ball may leave this 10-pin, not his.
Ooh. So remember that story I told you?
Yeah, I want you to get back to that. About
right,
Norm,
so
please.
This is like back in the 80s. Norm's driving home from a tour event that I think he just won. As you see, Jason's using the Axiom. Norm is on his way home. He's probably about, 8 hours from home. He's been driving for hours. He's tired. He stops to fill up with gas, puts the nozzle in the tank. Hang on, I'll tell you right after this shot. 4-pin.
Overhit it?
Yeah, he sure did. No $1 million given away this season. So, Norm has got the nozzle in the tank. He goes in to pay for his gas. He comes out and gets in the car.
I think I know where this is
and
going.
starts the car and drives away.
Oh, no.
And unfortunately, ripped the hose out of the pump.
No, I knocked the pump all the way on its side. I'm dragging the pump.
You were not, really. 4-pin for Belmo.
so
He's got it.
tired.
Looking down at his footwork there.
I was so tired, I didn't even realize it until I'm looking back in the mirror, and there's
Why
the
is
whole
this
gas.
not working? This car is not moving very fast.
That's a true story, yeah.
So how'd you get it untangled? What'd you do next?
There was no untangling. You untangle it when you pull it about a quarter block.
Gosh. All right, Randy, thanks for that. Glad you finished the story.
Did you know that the top 16 that made it to match play in this event, only 3 of them are over 30 years old? Talk about the new youth movement.
That was a ball change right
Really
there.
high shot there, guys. Wow. 4, 6, 7, 10.
Yep,
A lot up.
Anthony just changed balls, went to a stronger ball, one that will hook a lot more, and it did.
Get it over to the right side of the 3-pin, cut it into the 4-7, and the ball will take out the 6-10.
Let's see. 4-7 stand can't come through there. It's an open frame. We'll see if Belmo can take advantage. A lot of two-handers, Randy and Norm, on our show here today.
Yeah, let's take a look at the releases up close. There's Chris Vi, a little to the inside part of the ball, and a little more rotation. Here's Simonson. Wow, he really gets up underneath it, doesn't he? And then Belmonte. Pretty cool look.
That is cool.
Great job by our guys in the tape room.
Simonson down by 24 already.
Needs a rally, needs it now. Norby's got the 10-pin there and is pointing in the right direction in our championship match here in Las Vegas. So neat to see Belmo's family. I mean, how many times we interviewed Belmo on TV? Like dozens I've called his matches. And he's always, and they are right behind. Family and friends only allowed here, of course, for safety reasons in the current climate we're going through. But just a treat to see him finally. Always talks about him. Now we can really put a name in the face. Met Kimberly before, not the kids.
Wow.
What say you, Norm?
That's what I look at every day right there.
You like what you're seeing through 3 frames with Belmonte?
Well, of course. And, you know, there's no one on earth can just reach back and get more on it like he can. He just overpowers that puddle of oil down lane.
I think these 2 players are 2 of the best when it comes to touch. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and I would
touch.
also think they're 2 of the most powerful. I think they're both great spare shooters, and I also think they have excellent mental games. There's a reason why they're the last 2 standing in this event.
What about versatility?
Versatility, not as much, but they can use non-reactive bowling balls and get by. And then they can circle you at night when it gets good for them.
There they are to the right. This could get interesting as Simonson finds his groove here in the championship.
Well, whoever wins this match, guys, will take the lead in money on the PBA Tour in 2020. But this was a pretty big shot right there after going open, and he matches Belmonte's double. Is he 100% confident in what he's doing now in the ball change, Norm?
No, I don't think 100%, but he knows it's probably the best chance he has to win this tournament.
Didn't like that. There's the old boy, and just the 10-pin stands for him.
You're bowling a very good game.
USBC Masters, 19 years old at Indy. Last year, Players Championship in Columbus at 22. Huge young star on tour. 10-pin got it.
Looked like he got it in, just a pinch, ball pushed, and then he leaves the ring 10.
That's the only thing. I agree. I think he missed in. He knew it out of the gate, and then he missed in, and that oil just sits there. Belmo now with the shot at just lapping Simo early.
It's got to feel good, Norm, for Belmo. He has to go by 35 here. Works on a strike. 5th frame. We'll have the championship match in its entirety. No commercial interruption. Belmo. Smooth and easy, guys. Smooth and easy. All 10 back again. 35-pin lead.
I don't know if we mentioned this, but, you know, and look at how he's just carving that same path right there at 27 at the arrows and 6 at the break point. But he's bowled in 53 majors, and he's made the telecast in 28 of them.
28 times he's been
it's
on
incredible,
the
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But the reason is...
2 world championships.
The reason is he just throws it right on top of the other line. So he says intended line. Well, he just matches his intended line.
5-3 all-time head-to-head on TV with Simonson. A 226.4 average. So Belmo's had success, including earlier this year. All 10 back again. Rolling.
Just one other Belmo stat, guys. If he wins today, he'll make over $1 million just in majors.
Oh, that's a great stat. How about that? With his family in attendance, they flew into Los Angeles just before Disneyland closed. Got a chance to enjoy that cool resort. Drove to Vegas. They're going to Chicago for a couple days. Taking the Windy City before all going back to Australia.
Anthony Simonson better get on a strike train, otherwise this is going to be a slaughter.
Yeah, even with that strike, he's down by 45. Only halfway through the game.
Look at the difference in the last 2 shots there down lane. It's crazy. It's 4 boards at the break point.
Wow.
That's that buildup of oil you were talking about that's been created with carry down, Norm.
45-pin lead, 7th rating here for Simonson. It's hard to imagine this is the same guy who lost 7 straight TV shows. And Belmonte broke that streak. The winner for Dick Allen, U.S. Open last month in Lincoln, and won the title match over this guy. 3-6-9-10 spare to wrap it up. It was dramatic. Simonson trying to stay in conversation. 2-pin stands.
See that wiggle, and I think, Norm, you're spot on. It's that different gear that Belmonte has, where Simonson's ball wiggled in that spot at about 45, 50 feet. Belmonte's ball powers through it.
Well, there's a reason he's won all these majors. There's a reason that he is so dominant, and in my opinion, the #1 player that has ever walked the earth. And it's because he's not only got that gear, but that gear is that's his go-to. So he's so comfortable right now when everybody else is uncomfortable. So he laps the field.
Family's right there behind him. It's so cool. Look at that shot. Wow. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Norm is amazed.
Yeah, I do this for a living and have for a long time, and I just wow every time I see him do things like this.
Hey, let's not forget, guys, that just a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how this guy has lost how many times in a row on television.
You just said that, yeah,
and
7.
he doesn't trust himself anymore, and he's seeing a sports psychologist. As you take a look at the purse, $150K for first place there, as the PBA has put more money in the top 5 for this event. But I mean, remember those conversations like, oh, he's lost his edge.
Yeah, I
okay.
haven't. No.
All right, thanks. Hey, thanks for letting me know that.
No, I did not say that.
No.
I've been on the floor watching him, and that's the last thing I would have said, is he's lost his edge.
No more re-racks left here for Belmo. Huge lead. 8th frame. Not this time, though.
Wow, he found the same wiggle.
10.
Well, if you watch that ball, when it lands, it's got a little more of a bounce than it did the time before. Where the others were cleaner rev, watch the bounce right there. Bam, bam, 2 bounces, in fact.
Takes just enough off of it to make it push a little bit farther right, Norm?
Mm-hmm, exactly. The only chance Simonson had was something like this.
Just over 19% converted by PBA Tour pros. Across the lane, 10 stands, so an open frame. And the roll Belmo was on changes. Still a big lead.
Interestingly enough, Belmo has to finish on that lane. Just throwing it out there, Norm.
Right, and it's not going to matter unless Simonson can get on a roll and strike out. He's got to strike out. I believe in him.
All right, Norm believes in you, Simon. There's one.
Well, it's only 215 max score for Simon. That would mean that
Belmonte would
have to open.
2 marks.
Belmonte would have to open in the 9th and 10th.
Yeah, Belmo had that quote talking about it no longer there, kind of scary, talking about a sports psychologist. Didn't feel mentally engaged when he was on TV, part of that losing streak, but that unusual feeling that Belmo had clearly is a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Pretty good shot, 10-pin stands.
You could gift wrap
It's really nice.
Belmonte's 13th major, guys.
In the books.
24th career title.
Yeah, I want to get back to that.
36-year-old.
I'm sorry, I want to get back to that, where he said, I've seen us. Here's what I think, Randy.
Sure.
We were on the floor for 30 days in a row, or at least he was, because he made every cut, every show, he gets to television. Now think about the fry factor he's enjoying.
Yeah.
He can't think. We've been out there so many hours. Well, others like me, we got a day off here, 2 days off here. He never got a day off.
Right.
I think that was the problem.
Well, and then also, let's throw in the fact that he's away from his family. They just flew in, right? And so he's finally been able to see his family for longer than 6-7 weeks. He's made 5 major telecasts in a row. He's bowled for the title twice back-to-back now, just edging out Simo in back-to-back majors. He's only the second player to ever win this event 3 times in a row. Earl Anthony was the other to do so.
Right now, it
And who
doesn't
cares?
matter.
Want to come around?
Look at him. Bring the kids
He's going to
down.
bring the kids over because this one is over. Why not? Here come his kids with wife Kimberly to enjoy these last few shots. Why not? I mean, he came all the way from Australia. May as well enjoy it here. There's an 8-pin, but this one in the books for Jason Belmonte.
Look at
It's
this.
time to celebrate with the family. Why not, Belmo? You've done it.
Well, the crowd may not be here, but that's
Thank you, guys.
probably way better.
Thank you, baby.
$150,000 first place prize, 24th career title, and 13th major, extending his personal record of greatness. Jason Belmonte has won it again
So happy
as he
that you
wins the
guys are all here.
2020
So
PBA
happy.
World Championship.
You guys are here.
And $150,000. Normally, Randy, these people at the family would have to wait on all the fans. Right now, they're the first to go in.
Yep.
Just lovely.
Over $1 million in earnings in majors alone.
Extraordinary.
Pretty incredible. There's a pretty classy kid right there.
Hey, guys. We're really, really good. I couldn't see my target the last couple of shots when I knew that mathematically I was going to get there. I just wanted to get back there and give them all a kiss and a hug. But they've been here all week. Hugo in particular has watched every single shot that I have watched, and the girls have probably watched 97% of the shots. So having them here has just been an amazing feeling. I'm so lucky. I have a beautiful family, and I know it.
You absolutely do, and I love the fact that they were out here all week cheering you on. What do you call them? The best cheer squad ever?
Oh, the best cheer. This is Team Belmo here. So I can't wait to get on the plane to get back home, quarantine ourselves for a couple of weeks, and then enjoy this with friends and family.
Well, enjoy this with your family right now. Congratulations, 13 major titles.
Thank you.
Kimberly Belmo has done it, and today it's all about Team Belmo. Wife Kimberly, Aria, Hugo, Sylvie here to enjoy more
Number
history
13.
from Jason Belmonte.